I hear you. I hear you. What is up, everyone? Looks like we got LBC, Gear, and Alexander G all in the Discord or in the YouTube. We got username in here in the Discord right now, so I'm watching everything. I think I got this thing figured out, man. I think I got it figured out. That should stop the music. Music should be stopped now. What's up, everybody? Nope. All right, we got sound effects. We're good. We got screen. We've got YouTube. We've got Discord going on here. Tell me Piper's Pit is not a good name for this. No music on Discord. There was no music on Discord. Can you hear me on Discord? Username? You can hear me, but not the music. Okay, cool. I don't know what was going on. It's all good, but we're here. We're here. Just not the music. Can you hear the sound effects? Can you hear? Nope. Okay. Well, I guess no audio for you today. Oh, I know what it is. It's because I don't have you guys set up to hear Ecamm Live. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, username, if you want to check it out on Piper over there on, I'm going to bring you up here on stage with me if you want to come up here, and we'll do this. And then I will come over to Army Chart. Is that it? However you want to talk, but I'm looking for DDT. Haven't seen him yet. Cryptic Mac is in here. Appreciate you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys rock, man. You guys rock. Cool. Let me see if what the delay is on YouTube. There we go. We're cool. All right, looks like we got a lot of people over here already rolling in. Username, I appreciate you being here. If you guys got any questions, you can type it into the chat here, or you can drop it over on YouTube, and we'll try to get through it. But I'm just going to basically break down what's going on today. Nothing like Piper's Pit for dinner at the hotel, username said. I want to go ahead and jump in on some stuff on Into the Cryptoverse today. So we're going to do that. And it looks like Lunar Beaches. Bruh, we can't even close YouTube and listen to members only streamer. I'm going to Discord. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Come on over to you. Come on over to Discord. There's JR. We got JR in the house. Alexander G's coming over here too. Yeah, however you guys want me to do this thing. If you guys want me to do this thing where it's open for everybody, but you guys come over to the Discord, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I do have an intro for you guys. You guys may remember this intro, but now we have an intro. Here it comes. You guys remember that intro? Little intro there for you. JR gets cute when he goes on Canada. I'm sorry. Alexander G is also down here in the chat. Let's go ahead and I'm going to bring somebody up here on stage with me. Whoever wants to come up. Alexander G, are you driving? Are you driving and listening right now? You probably are. I really appreciate the late YouTube members only. Awesome, Crypto Mac. Well, I'm glad to be able to give you guys some stuff. So BC Port Corp is here. Let's go ahead and bring him up on stage. It's a little different doing this from the side of Discord on one side and YouTube on the other. But yeah, we're gonna go in and break down the where we are on the DCA Pipers plan today. Excuse me. BC Port Corp. JR said he'll be 1 second. Jesse, what's up, man? How you doing? DDT, do you got your stuff fixed today, bro? Or do we need to bring you up with me? Oh, we got audio. We got audio. Yeah.
Other audio.
Yep.
Other
You
audio.
guys talk for me. I'd like to know if you guys go ahead and talk for me. I want to see if I want to see if we get audio for the YouTube. Your audio should be able to come through for them now on YouTube. You don't see the stream in Discord. Failed to start camera. Try again. DDT.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you, bro.
Okay, give me a moment. I'm just quickly going back into. Where's this thing now?
The stream in Discord. Failed to start camera. Try again. DDT. Is that me? All right, cool. I got DDT's audio on YouTube. That's good. Was gone, now back. Okay. So you can go ahead. Is there anything you want to go over today, DDT? We can go ahead and pass over the chart to you and bring it up. Even if we don't have the camera to see your beautiful face.
Give me a minute. I don't know why this. No, man. That's the Discord. Give me 2 minutes. Sorry. 2 more moments. So Discord is there. Oh, this is what I'm not looking at. Okay, pausing there. Sorry, I'm getting duplicates. Camera. Is it not?
LBC, I just dropped a link in the members chat in there for you if you wanted to click there.
OBS virtual. Why's OBS dropped out? OBS virtual camera. Oh,
good now.
It would help if I actually stop. Would help if I actually started virtual camera.
Hey, you should probably start your virtual camera, DDT. That might help.
Yeah, I know. I've got it running in OBS, but I hadn't sent it to the browser. But now it should work. Come on. I'm here in a blacked out room. Let me just quickly go and move myself into the middle of the screen a little bit. The fuck is this thing?
Actually, I had to work hard at work today to get here on time.
Is that okay? Or should I?
Whoa, he's a ghost. Where'd he come from?
I can put a screen behind it, but I just thought I'd black it out. Just that people can't see my kitchen. Yeah, there's not too much going on. I'll pull my screen up.
Lunar Beaches, I'm going to give you access real fast. I don't know why you don't have access. I'm going to add you to it. Give me a second.
Just want to see if I can rather. Let's do this in OBS.
You should have access now, Lunar Beaches. I just fixed that for you, bro. Yeah, I'm not sure why you can't get over there, but you should have access now.
I don't know why on virtual camera I don't have. Why it's not fading there.
We got your chart. That's a start.
Yeah, but it's not putting my video up now. Anyway, we'll just have to do that. You'll just have to have me in the corner. My chart running?
No chart.
Faces, don't worry about it.
You took your chart away,
What?
just your face is there.
Oh, I see the chart up here in the.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, got it. There we go. Cool. Yep, we got a chart, and it's up here on YouTube now. So there we go. So what do you see in DDT? Let's talk it out, bro.
Okay, so basically the only thing that obviously I've had a few things. Let me just take these off, and then So for the life of me, I couldn't really see why we bounced. We did. Obviously, the main reasoning is probably it's probably just the fill of the wick, kind of wick fill. But what we've done now as well is we've reclaimed the anchored VWAP. And then obviously, I know lots of people don't use market stuff in here, but kind of things are starting to round up a bit and look a bit more bullish.
I own it for life. Does that count?
Yeah, it does. And then the only thing as well is we've had the structure flips. So this is just we flipped 1093, which was kind of the key 1 hour market structure. So yeah, there's a few things, and then obviously what's happened on the weekend, which I didn't catch, is obviously this is the weekend consolidation. They scammed up and went, and then obviously now, in a higher low during Asia, while I was sleeping without me, I moved up again. So they left me behind on this one, so I'm hoping for a retrace. But yeah, that's basically it. I think I'm just going to recenter this a bit, make me a bit bigger and better.
What time frame is that?
So yeah, for the most part, at this stage, I'm hoping for a retrace. We come into a anchored VWAP at this moment, and then also as well, we have an updated fixed range volume profile. So there's two overlapping basically, depending how you pull the volume profiles. So for the most part, we kind of just hitting those. I don't know if there was EMAs or anything on the daily that we came back into. Probably did. Daily, I think it was a 4 hour 200. We just came back, or 4 hour 50. So for the most part, it's looking okay. And we've held the anchored view up from the bottom. So kind of all the volume side of things that I'm seeing at this point, it's looking okay for a little bit more upside at this stage. And kind of at this stage, I'm only really looking at like 113. I'm not kind of getting my hopes up too far just yet. 113 is where we dropped out of basically last week, or actually Wednesday last week. So for the most part, yeah, just kind of holding on to hope that we at least get back up to 113. And then obviously at that point, it's decision time. If it reclaims it, then obviously we bounce up and we start moving further up. So we either reject it, come down, then we've got the lower highs, or we'll flip it, kind of go further up back towards 116, 117, 118. One thing I was looking at and hoping for was so single prints, price imbalance. There was some price imbalance over the Asia pump, which we've just come back in and tapped. I would have hoped that kind of we would have come back a bit deeper into them. And yeah, kind of I was still looking kind of on my scalping template, kind of for this 1097 all the way down to like 109, kind of this zone. I've got quite a few key horizontals that I kind of use for scalping. Yeah, at this point, I think the ES is still going as well. ES and NASDAQ are still kind of pumping up, so that's probably bringing Bitcoin up with it. But yeah, for the most part, I'm looking kind of 108 to 109 kind of as a retest long. And then by that, yeah, kind of 113 is my next level to the upside, although we need to still break above this 111 kind of key resistance at this point. So I don't know what you guys are seeing on your oscillators.
Yeah, I'm watching 113 on my level, and I'll go ahead and pull it up here in just a second when you get done. But yeah,
so that's me.
I'm watching for like 113.
I can pull I'll pull my chart down, and you guys can. Okay. Yeah, but that's basically it for me for now, for the time being. I want to see if I can mess around and try and get this chart behind me now. But yeah, I'll watch from my browser on the other screen.
Do you think? I'm not sure. My chart is sharing or not yet. I don't think. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so what I'm watching here, guys, on mine, and I'll go ahead and bring that up there. There we go. Perfect. What I'm watching for right now on my chart is that we have this. We got this dynamic reactor here. And by the way, just on your comment about Market Cipher, I have it. I own it for life. Where's it at? Market Cipher. There we go. Yeah, I own it. I just don't use it. Chart Prime works for me. So, uh, but looking at dynamic reactor, I am watching this level here, and I talked about this morning that we have turned the quantum reactor into red. Typically, this when it's grayed out like this, it gives you a little bit of hopium. Now that we turned red here over the weekend, it happened on Saturday. This is actually telling me that we have a really good possibility of coming up and rejecting off of either the dynamic reactor or coming all the way up to reject off of the quantum reactor, which would be 113 for the 113.5 for the dynamic reactor. The moving average of the quantum reactor is coming in at about 116.6. And so if that happens, that could set us up for another move to the downside. Typically, historically, when we look back at, hey, what has happened when we had this quantum reactor turn red before, you can see it's become our resistance. So, like, for example, this time period here wouldn't have been too much different than what we are seeing right now. We broke below it, it finally turns red, and then it becomes resistance, and we have this whole downside play. So, looking at the 4 hour, I should say. But what I am watching for, where the hell did my candles go? Holy cannoli, I have no candle. All right, we're trading with no candles anymore, guys. Let me see if I can bring those back. There we go. Good Lord. So yeah, if we do come back up there and we start to get rejections either at this level or this level, then we could be looking at a further downside move coming. The one thing I will point out on the 4 hours, the power bar did give us a fire off. The downtrend area has triggered, and we're now in a bearish ribbon. And you can see bearish ribbons do typically play out downside move unless we start building divergences. Money flow is kind of flattened out and curved back down, and volume is also pretty flat, meaning that we are setting up for a potential move to the downside, but not quite there yet. We are seeing us holding in this range here, so we got a little flag action going there. But what I'm going to be concerned about is if we cannot get back above, and that's total crypto market cap. What I am concerned about is that if we don't get back above here on the um, bull market support band, which we're fighting against it right now as resistance. And typically, when that happens, it sets us up for rejection off of that to return down to LBC's beautiful 52-week simple moving average. So, wow, that chart totally did not work for you guys, did it? I apologize. Let me see what I can do here for you. Because you guys had a black screen on YouTube. Screen is blank. How much did you guys see? Let me go back and look here. A whole minute and a half, 2 minutes. You guys didn't have screen for a while. Okay, cool. Let me run through that again for the people watching out there. I know what I can do. I can set up my screen share on my camera to be that. So let me go to my charts. Let me see here. If I do I don't know.
Alexandra G said no audio on YouTube.
Oh my goodness. Poor Piper. Because, yeah, that's why they couldn't hear any dings. It was all mute. They don't know what the
He's
F they're
booming
doing.
today. Yeah.
They don't know what the F they're doing. Okay. You guys can hear me Discord? Put a 1 in the chat. You guys can hear me on YouTube? Put a 1 in the chat.
We definitely hear you on Discord.
Perfect. Thank you, Jesse. You can hear us now. Okay, cool. But you guys can probably also hear all the dinging. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in here and I am going to drop this for a second.
I haven't heard a ding since we started.
Yeah, but they can, if I can hear it through my system, they can hear it on YouTube. So I'm just going to mute
on YouTube
for an hour. There we go.
On YouTube.
AG, can you guys hear on YouTube now?
Yeah, I can hear it on YouTube as well.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Piper.
This is just a test.
Piper Bitcoin TA take 3. All right, here we go, guys. Well, we're gonna figure. This is only our second week doing this across Discord and YouTube, so it's a little bit different. So we're gonna get it there. You guys can all hear perfect. I appreciate you guys. You guys have the patience of a saint. All right, so watching what I'm seeing here, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. Let's go back and try this one more time. I'm watching the dynamic reactor and quantum reactor. It's 113. I think you guys heard it all, but you said you haven't seen it and heard it. Numbers, LBC said. Numbers, why? What numbers are you asking for, LBC? Price action? Is that what you're asking? I don't know what you're asking for. You just put numbers. Username said numerical ones. Username on Discord said numerical ones, I would think, Piper. Yeah, that's usually what numbers are for. For us listening, call out numbers. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I can do that. So, yeah, so the level of the dynamic reactor right now is coming in at 113,421. The quantum reactor coming in at 116,600, 116,700 area. And so we have fired off a red quantum reactor here. The big thing that I'll point out again is that when it's grayed out, guys, it's not really like here we went below it and you see it stayed gray and we came back to it. It stayed gray here, even though it went above it, it didn't turn green. We came back to it. When it stays grayed out for any period of time at all, it's telling you that price action is likely not going down or going up. Like, for example, here we was just sideways. So there was not enough data for this to turn green until here. And then we get all of this movement, right? Just the same way as red. Here we went below it, but it didn't turn red till here. And then we get a rejection off the dynamic reactor and make a new low there. Going back here and taking a look, you can see here we come above it. It didn't turn green. Didn't turn green here until we broke down below. So then it turned red, right? We come back in, obviously a little fake out there, but we get even lower, right? So we know that this is possible because of the color change of the reactor. Come back here and take a look. We broke below. We were just sideways for this whole period, but back here it turned red. And then we get this entire dump off in the market. So this turning red gives us a big red flag, a big warning sign that if we come up to this level at 113,400 or come up to this level at 116,600, we're likely looking at a chance of a rejection and more downside. Now, why this matters, take 3, here we go. Looking at the higher time frames on the weekly, we are right now trying to push back up on the weekly into the bull market support band, which has now become a bear market resistance band, and our daily dynamic reactor. If we can't get above this, very likely heading down to the 52-week simple moving average, which is coming in at about $101,300. But if we take a look at what we're seeing for the upper side, we could get all the way up into like 113, guys, and still would not be breaking out of that bull market support band. which is now our resistance. So you talk about that 113. Where do we see that at? 113 is right here in line with our dynamic reactor. So if we are not able to get above that and we do head down to that 52-week simple moving average, it's going to be the line in the sand. And I said this last Friday, still sands. Nothing has changed. The one thing I will point out is that if we look at the weekly here on the this is the multi oscillator chart. You guys see here where we got bright green candles. You got like two different shades here, like a light shade, medium shade, and bright shade, right? But if you take a look here, we had this period back here where we had bright green on a weekly, and that gave us upside move after our pullback, right? Go back here and take a look. We had a bright green candle that fired here on Monday, right? This is our Monday bright green candle. We had a pullback and we bounced from there. It's a pretty decent little move, to be honest. That move from bottom to top was turn off the magnet. That was about a 30% move, guys, in that one little area right there on the weekly. When we get these bright green candles on the MVP oscillator weekly, we had one back here, right here that fired. You know, that was that pullback there. They gave us a good pullback. Let's look at this move to the downside. That was about a 21% move. We don't have a bright green candle firing off yet. We're getting the warning. We got the light shade, medium shade, but we do not have a bright green candle firing off here yet, which also indicates that we could have likely some more downside here also. So we're not seeing, look at the histogram on the weekly. We're still coming down on the histogram. We're still coming down after a multi divergence here, bearish divergence off of that, getting that money flows coming down, volumes coming down. Nothing here is telling me that we're done with this shakeout to the downside here on higher time frames on the weekly. Of course, we're seeing that with the resistance here and the 4-hour giving us that indication of a red quantum reactor, beware. So that's what I got there, guys. Let's go back over to the chat. There, you guys can now see in the chat what everybody's saying over on YouTube. But when 98K, 98K comes if we don't hold the 52-week simple moving average, BC. Jay Violet, what is up, lady? Good to see you. Hey, Jay Violet, hold on. I'll be right back. I got something I got to show Jay Violet. There you go. Jay Violet, check it out. I got Tim Tams. Costco had them by the case, and I picked up some Australian Tim Tam cookies. So closed Discord and opened it back up. Done that 3 times already. Maybe you need to rejoin. Everyone's chatting away over here in Discord. So you guys here in YouTube, you guys got any questions or anything you want to see? I just wanted to show you guys what we have going on right now and what I'm watching for. You can't see anything? You don't see my camera, Jay Violet? Anyway, it's Tim Tams. It's Tim Tams. If you guys don't know what these are, they're little chocolate cookies. They got crispy chocolate inside.
Are they delicious?
They are. They're pretty damn good. They go fantastic with a hot coffee at night after dinner. Little espresso, and yeah, love it. I love Tim Tams. She said they're pretty good. They were selling them by the case. I did not realize how many cookies were in that package. I've given some away. So why can I hear everyone but Piper? I don't know why. Lunar Beaches.
He muted you.
Did you mute me, Lunar Beaches? Probably so. What else you guys got? You guys got any questions, or you want me to go ahead and jump in on Into the Cryptoverse stuff?
When you get to Into the Cryptoverse,
Yep,
I have a weird theory.
Oh,
what if?
I'm going to bring you up. Yeah, I'm going to bring you back up here. 1 second.
Let me actually. I'm going to take us down. This is just getting on my nerves now. Right now.
You had your chart and then it went away.
Yeah, because sorry, it's just it's my screen isn't mirroring. I don't know what the heck's going on, so I'd just rather just be a bit professional about it. And I'll just
However, you just had it before was working just fine. You had you and your chart.
Yeah, but the chart was like back to front.
No, you only see it that way on Discord. It's not on the broadcast, bro.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll come back. Give me a moment. But yeah, the one thing I was asking while I fixed this, sorry, Papa, was what if kind of freak. What if we don't get to a take profit on the DCA plan on Bitcoin?
Which Alexander G has asked numerous times, and I said, well, then we have to start looking at the TA, because, for example, on altcoins, we've had a couple of moments there, and I can actually throw myself up here with you. That'd be awesome. Let me do that. There we go. Elgato. Look at that. There's me. I'm over here with you. Bring your chart back. What are you doing? DDT, you are all over the place. You're a hot mess today, bro.
I'm trying to just OBS. Anyway, let me fade back in. Okay, I'll be skewed. Yeah, but so the thought was just that. Yeah, what if we didn't? What if we didn't get to a point where kind of we get the? I think is it 5? Level 5 or level 6, kind of level that area.
7. Is level kind of 7 is our take profit area.
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of it's more of an anomaly than I would actually think we would get there eventually, just because hopefully Bitcoin does get kind of above 130. But kind of yeah, what was the state of play if that's not the case? If that hypothetically didn't happen, kind of, and what would you use it? Would you use market structure? Would you use fib extensions? Kind of, what would your thoughts be?
All of the above. Yes, and yes is exactly what I would use. Let me actually jump over here and go to the chart, and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here on mine, DDT. So a couple of things. One, there is an update in our Discord, and we've put it under the altcoin section about taking profits. Matter of fact, let me see what that says here, and I'll read it off to the people on YouTube. But then I'll I'll read it off here to the people on YouTube. But you guys should be able to pull it up on Discord. But under the altcoin section in Discord, I put a caveat for the past 2 weeks. And said for a few recent weeks, we had a couple of primary alts telling us to take 30% profit. Okay. As we have discussed in Monday sessions, when this happens, look across your alts and decide if you should apply that signal to those that are not getting to that level of take profit, right? This could indicate some alts are just clearly underperforming. Keep this in mind when seeing all of the alt levels. And so I wanted that to be like a foundation for people that if you see Solana and Ethereum say take profit, you might want to look at your other alts and go, are these just underperforming and they're not going to get to those levels? Because that very well could be the case. Now, as far as the alts that have hit it, we've had XRP, we've had Solana, and we've had Ethereum, all three come into take profit zones at one point or another in the past month. Looking at it from the perspective here, though, and let me go into tools, DCA strategies, and we'll take a look here at what we're seeing here. No, I don't want that. My bad. Sorry. Dashboard, go down here, go to the wristbands. So looking at Bitcoin right now, guys, we're actually coming down into like, the 3x DCA levels. Which is a big reason why I've taken profit so many times this cycle, because technically the only one that hit 70% wristband was back in March 2024, my first time that I sold everything and got out of the markets until August. And then in August, we had that nice big pullback. So we were DCAing all the way in. But when we came back into the peak that we had in January 2025 here, you can see our highest levels back there were like 63. In order to get even close to take profit levels, and it's not going to be the 30-day. Let's see here. 50-day. No. 3-day? Nope. Yeah, we're not even getting close on that. We've had a significant underperformance this cycle on hitting the 70% wristband. If you go over, I'm gonna pull this up here and show you guys um, the tops, market tops. Where's it at? Bull market peak signals. Take a look at the bull market peak signals this cycle. We've had a significant change to the norm. We only had one that hit this cycle, and it's disappeared now, by the way. It's now says 0, but it was Bitcoin dominance that triggered earlier a couple months ago. We've only had one of the 30 bull market peak indicators that said sell at the top to get triggered this cycle. So if we look at this and go, okay, well, none of these have hit, neither did the 70% wristband. Do we have just a suppressed cycle going on with money being tight? And that is a very possible case, DDT. That might be, really what we are looking at. So you really need to be watching chart levels too. This is great for telling us how much to get in at, but where we take profits at, you really have to look at like Piper shorted at $126,000. Why? And of course, I'm not going to come and tell people, hey, I sold all my stuff, which I didn't there. I actually sold back in, some of it in July and I started DCAing again. I'm still DCAing right now. My current levels on Coinbase right now in Bitcoin is, nope, that's a GIF. That's the wrong one. And I'll put this up on the camera so you guys can see. Studio cam. There we go. Yeah, I'm currently sitting right now with about $40,000 total in crypto. You can see it there. There's my Bitcoin and my XRP. So I'm still dollar cost averaging into those assets at this point right now, even though we haven't actually triggered the take profit levels. So if that is the case and we don't get that, you got to the alts. I think I gave fair warning on that stuff a couple of times now, DVT, about if we have a continuation of the alts not hitting those levels, while you have some that did, you should probably apply them. But then the other side of that is if Bitcoin does not hit those levels, for those bans to take place, then we could be just seeing an overall suppressed market. And it might be the case that you have to. BC, did you put your hand up? You went up here, BC? I'll put you up here. It might be one of those situations where sorry, I'm looking at two different chats here. Aren't the top signals just not triggering due to maturing? The signals are calculated on previous cycles. Yeah, Dylan VA, very possible. Very possible. But I also think that we don't have the money to flow in to the markets that we had in previous cycles either, because people are just paying, $10 for a loaf of bread at the store. It's unreal right now. So I was calling for 132K top. BC Port Corp says I still think that there's a possibility, guys, that we do come back and rally later in the quarter this cycle. So that's why I'm continuing to DCA right now. So. But yeah, this is a great question, DDT. I don't disagree with you at all that, look, we haven't hit 70% wristband. We came damn close. What was the highest that we hit in the cycle here?
That's 68, I think it was.
Yes, 68 something.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but
somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah, it was in the 60s for sure. I remember it, but yeah, closest we came was 60s back in January. So this might just be one of those periods where, look, we're doing accumulation and we're going to ride it on. I plan on continuing the DCA. I don't plan to stop, but altcoins are definitely going to get crushed. If the top is in, alts are going to get crushed. So that's just all there is to it. So
any pumps now, I'm starting to scale up my alts. I'm only got about 10% now, maybe. When we hit the last all-time high, I scaled out a bit, sold more Link, I sold quite a bit of the other ones I had left over still. Obviously not everything, still keeping a little bit of moon bags in case it is anything, but even if I round trip what I have, it's not gonna make me cry. I've taken my profits and just losing a little bit of profit basically if I round trip them back to entry.
Yeah, I want to show
But
you guys
Bitcoin as
this.
well.
I want to show
But
you this
Bitcoin I've not
post real
sold.
fast. Sorry, go ahead.
I've not sold any Bitcoin yet. I'm kind of, it's either retirement bag or kind of get a good entry and hold it a bit longer term. I've not really been trading Bitcoin. Obviously, I trade perps, so I'm in kind of the mindset of not really selling the Bitcoin I have. And yes, it's prawn in regards to how much I own. I'm still not a whole coiner just yet, but I want to get to a whole coiner before I kind of decide where. And anyway, as well, since the last cycle, I've been more into alts, and that's obviously wrecked me. But obviously, trading this cycle has helped me a lot more. Kind of negate the fact that I haven't been Bitcoin heavy. So there's been spin-offs of which obviously lessons I've learned. I've learned lessons now. Kind of specifically to be a lot more Bitcoin heavy with your bags until such time as you start seeing the outperformance or the rotations. And I only actually started spotting the rotations from January and swing trading spot rotations in January. Things like Pumped Up Fun, Potcoin, like those type of things. Hype is another one. Bearer. So like those ones when they started outperforming, I kind of threw a few $100s in there and kind of traded those kind of on spot. Whereas that's kind of what I'm thinking is probably going to be the best way forward for me and kind of what I've noticed, rather than just DCA at the bottom of the bear market and just hope that they run, which is kind of the old mentality of just throwing dollars at it and hoping it makes you money. I think now we have to be a lot more savvy kind of with now institutional money.
We
and look
do,
at kind of
absolutely. And that's what I was getting ready to say. It might be one of those things where, hey, look, altcoins are hitting take profit. Maybe Bitcoin should, taking 10% out when alts hit a 30% take profit might not be a bad idea, even still, depending on how heavy you are into Bitcoin. But one thing I wanted to show here real fast, and I'll drop it onto my screen here. See if it goes. There we go. This is from TXMC earlier today, about 7 hours ago. He said, if you remove the top coins, which made all-time highs this cycle, so meaning the top coins that have done well this cycle, hit all-time highs, if you remove those from the crypto market cap, the crypto market cap is still 50% below the 2021 peak and hasn't come close to breaking out, meaning all the tokens that hit all-time high out of the bundle. Where are we at with the rest of them? We're 50% down from where we were last cycle. So it hasn't even come close to breaking out. Virtually the entire move in total, which is your total crypto market cap, has been from the 5 largest market caps and stable coins. Put some of the recent crypto moon calls into better perspective. So when you're hearing these $800 chain links, as username said there, yeah, guys, not looking good. So, and this is just a great perspective to put on it. So, DDT, you had something you wanted to say? What you got, bro?
That's possibly why we won't get a traditional alt season, because the ASI index hasn't really got to the point where it kind of can be sustained at that high level for so long because of the strength of Bitcoin and kind of the institutional bid on Bitcoin. Obviously, ETH to a certain extent has kind of got an institutional bid now with the ETF, but it's still nowhere near to as strong as what Bitcoin is. So, like, you get a little bit of an alt season, you get to the top of the alt season index. Yes, it's alt season, and then like it's a day or two, and then that index comes down.
Every time we've hit that band, every time we've hit alt season on the alt season index, I've warned guys, this may not last very long, so enjoy it while it's here. And then, it's like almost immediately by that night, it's fallen back out of the 75% range. It's been, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is the worst damn crypto bull run ever.
But this is the thing. Like, I think what we all need to realize, kind of as traders or investors or however you want to kind of class yourself within the crypto kind of sphere, is that I think for myself, I've learned a lot kind of about what I can do better, right? And what I can notice better, how I can pivot better in kind of future bull runs, and this is only my second one now. So, kind of going forward, kind of making the mental notes and also journaling as to kind of, it's like life in general. If you kind of you journal, you make mental notes, you kind of improve slowly but surely, and you realize what you did wrong. I know what I did wrong. I bought alts kind of at the bottom, and I shouldn't have. And
Yeah,
I've actually almost made.
BC Portcourt said this was the best run ever if you only bought Bitcoin. Not the best run ever, but damn good run, much better than alts, that's for sure. So, but yeah, buying the bottom on alts. A lot of people thought, hey, $3 ADA, we should easily be able to 5-6x that. We should be looking at $20 ADA, right? And it's just not going to happen at this point. So, Cardano lovers are going to be screaming at forever. Like, we're still going to all-time high. Don't undercut us. Hey, man, how about you just worry about a 200% run to get you? Let's get about $1 first, and then let's look at a 200% run to get back to your all-time high first.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Kind of going forward, there's still obviously institutional altcoins now with the ETFs. So we are going to have things like Cardano, HBAR, Solana, Litecoin, and there's a few others. But the thing is as well, it's just going to be, all there'll be is like a slow drag up. But obviously, if you do have any correction, the institutional bids still won't hold them that high. So you kind of, it might be worthwhile kind of as we go kind of later into the year, kind of towards the back end of the year, the next few weeks is start discussing, is it worth exiting even if you're only slightly in profit, or are you just going to hold and round trip? Like my Cardano, I got at 22 cents, so I'm still okay, right? I'm Gucci on that. But then kind of my link, I got at $5.50 or $5.6, so that's also still Gucci. Like, but there is things where I'm almost teetering on round tripping, or kind of almost being maybe only 20% up rather than a double or a triple at this point. So
Yep.
kind of those are the ones now I'm considering, if we get any exit bumps, I'm cutting them, and I'm probably just going to rotate that back into Bitcoin.
So let me ask you guys a question, and this is for everyone on YouTube and everyone here in the Discord. Well, it's a two-part question, really, maybe a three-part question. Do you guys plan on riding this all the way into the next cycle with Piper Academy, like your DCA planning and all that? Then just put a 1 in the chat if you are. That way I just get an idea, because, as a whole, we can look at doing some things a bit different going in on the next cycle, where we look at like your 50% wristband, your 60% wristband after flushing out to your lower wristbands, right? Where we've hit your 20% risk or your 10% risk windows. Do we plan on, do we have an interest at that point in maybe doing like, hey, let's do a 5 or 10% at 50% wristband. Let's go into the 60% wristband with another 20% out, stuff like that. If that's an interest to you guys, let me know, because I can always revamp that, where when we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, we have 5 different windows where we kind of chip away. And if you guys are interested in that, I can absolutely set that up.
Like trade it more?
Yeah, I think trading is obviously the way forward if you want to kind of negate your losses, specifically shorting on the way down.
Oh yeah, for negating your losses,
But then,
absolutely. But I'm talking about the
but then-
structure of the Piper plan.
But as to when you decide to start putting in the DCAs, kind of at the levels, or
When you start to take profits on your DCA levels.
I think with alts you kind of have to front run now. Basically,
Yep.
I think the alts need to be, in my honest opinion, if I was someone who had bought alts now slightly in profit or in profit now, and I was joining and I was saying, okay, what's the play from here? Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the cycle, kind of historically, and if alts are now only at like a DCA 3 or DCA 2 or whatever it is, it's kind of almost worthwhile taking profit. They're not. My personal humble opinion, there's very little kind of probability that they get the big exit pump that we were hoping for. So you kind of,
and the chances of that are dropping on us quickly. So yeah, I agree. As you guys know, sorry, I didn't bring anything to drink. I was helping my wife put together a cabinet and everything. As you guys know, when we go into the cycle bottoms, and hope, and I'm thinking that this thing still plays out, honestly, because it always has. So, but so has pi cycle tops and stuff, right? But when we go back in on the cycle, I would think that the algorithm, the data, is still going to trigger the MVP oscillator on the monthly, and so let me go and put that on here. And that'll come up on my camera shot here, guys. But I am, thinking that we're still going to see a big enough data pull, source data pull, that we do get MVP oscillation here for bottom triggering, right? I mean, that's just where we average in. And so if you guys are at the point right now on your DCA cycle that you're like, look, I would rather, because I've put in thinking 70% wristband was coming, right, and it's not, I would rather maintain the rest of my dry powder for MVP oscillators to fire at the bottom and get way more bang for the buck on the next run up in the cycle, right? Then, I think that's absolutely a thing. And you guys are always going to know when this, I'll be looking at this at the 31st, 30th, or whatever the last day of the month is at market close, because that's what will fire the monthly close, is that the night before. So, for example, the first will not, the first of the month will actually close the night prior for us. And so I'll be telling you guys, hey, we're getting into a medium shade or a light shade. And you can see they've always at least fired off to give us a little bit of a warning that we were coming into the bottoms of the cycles. And so if you guys want to do that, I totally understand that, and I will make sure you guys are tracking on this stuff. But yep, bright green. There you go. But
I'd rather just buy like the top coins. Like when those fire, I'd rather just buy some Sol and ETH and Bitcoin when those fire.
Believe it or not, I still won't buy the alts when these start firing off, because if you take a look here, and I'm going to show you why real fast. People go, does this work for alts? It does, sure. But remember, like, we're buying the first one here, okay? How much did it fall to the bottom? 32%. Do you know what happened to your altcoins if you started buying them in that window? They got decimated even more, right? Another 50-60% drop for altcoins on that drop there for Bitcoin.
Well, you don't go all
32%.
in.
So what I
Just
do,
like chunks.
my approach to this is I do everything in Bitcoin to start with. And then as we show strength and pull back in on critical levels of support, then I can start swapping Bitcoin that's already in profit into some alts for the rest of the run. And so
that sounds good.
Yeah, this doesn't touch alts at all. This is only Bitcoin DCA at the bottom buy-ins. And then as we start to show strength, I can go, you know what? I'm going to take 10% of my Bitcoin and move it into some alts. I'm going to go into Sol, and I'm going to go into XRP, and I'm going to go into whatever, right? So whatever else is out next cycle, you never know. We may have the new hottest thing coming out in the next bear market. So, but yeah, that's how I do that, is I just do swaps. You don't have to go, okay, I've got USDC and now I've got altcoins. No, you can take, I got Bitcoin at a great price. It's in profit. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this over into Ribcoin, as your name said, hashtag Ribcoin, whatever it may be, right? And so I do think that is a better way. And if you guys are wanting to just hold off on your DCA plans, that's all good. At the end of the day, that's one of the big reasons that I made this thing $4.99. It's the cheapest membership level you can do on Discord that can be gifted, if you didn't know that. So $5 is the cheapest one. If you gift if you had only dollar memberships, you can't gift those. So I did that at the $5 minimum on YouTube. And then I said $5 keeps all the bots out, the scammers out. If you guys come in here into our Discord without having the membership, you get a help screen. That's it. That you can talk to crypto trades, and he can tell you to pound sand. Here's how you join. Click this link and connect your YouTube. That's it. So it protects you guys from the bots and the scammers behind this wall. But another reason it's only $5, it's $60 a year. So this is something that we can do this journey long term, and it doesn't cost you a fortune. So that was the big thing. So I just didn't want you guys to have
Did
to
you?
spend a lot of money for a long-term journey with me. So
Yeah, I know you got the YouTube chat there. Bowias was asking a question on YouTube about this with quantitative easing coming in.
why
Are
don't
we still
you?
thinking that we won't get the
Why don't
metrics?
you think it won't make a 7% risk band? At least none of the traditional multi. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Because of how price action has fallen this time, you guys QE. Oh God, QE, guys. I talked about QE. Well, first let me talk about QE, and then I'll come back to Bobby Yaz's question on this because I think it's a great question that he's asking. But QE, are we or are we not in increasing or stagnant inflation? Yes or no? Anybody can answer.
Yes.
Anywhere. Yes. We still have we still have inflation. It's not going down. It's actually ticking up every time we turn around. Why do you cut rates? Because inflation is either good, it's going down, or because oh shit, job numbers are horrible. That's the only two reasons you cut rates, aka quantitative easing. We're not cutting rates for the good reason. We're cutting rates because of oh shit. When we have gone into quantitative easing in those environments, they have 9 times out of 10, 6 out of 7 led to a recession. 1, 2 sent the markets down hard. So quantitative easing, I know a lot of YouTubers talk about this, but they don't know what the F they're talking about. Okay.
Yeah,
Quantitative
exactly.
easing for emergency reasons is not liquidity into your crypto bags. It is oh shit moments and bad things happen afterwards. So you guys need to know that. What about the spooky composite man username? We don't talk about him. I saved that for tools to talk about on their show. So much love.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this is the thing, to kind of add to that. Uh, it's kind of that thing that the QE is actually going to cause the bubbles to pop. So we just got to be careful of that. And this is kind of all circling back and going back to the whole thought at the front where we started was just that around we may get an exit pump, but things aren't looking good for kind of
Yeah.
big kind of huge bump out of here, specifically over the next few months. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. So, or economically, yes, crypto could just kind of just do a total opposite, but that is kind of very.
It's still a risk
It's
asset.
not. It's not.
It's not gold
It's
yet,
still a risk
guys.
asset.
It's still
Yeah,
a risk
so-
asset. So to answer
for the
your
most-
question, Bobby Yaz, why do I think it won't make it? I don't think that it won't make it. I think it's leaning towards an unlikelihood that it's going to make it. If it does, great, but you're taking the risk that it's not going to. And right now, we are at the crossroads of. I mean, I've showed you on the charts. I've showed you on the charts where the bad man can touch your wallets, right? So, it's not going to be pretty if we don't make it back to there. So, is it possible? Anything's possible. The only thing I know for certain on a chart is that it's going to go to the right. And if that stops, well, then I don't know what happened. Quantum physics is out the window. So time quit marching on. But I do think that we are sitting right now where if we don't get a buck back above these levels, then we're looking at a very harsh fall. That's the fastest way to inject liquidity. I don't know what you're talking about username. Oh, the composite man. Can we go back to 2017? Exactly. Yeah, for facts, big facts. This is just learning for me. I don't own any spot we're talking about. I'm just learning to be a trader. Awesome gear. So just so you know, buying spot bags is trading too. We're just doing it on a much slower basis with bags instead of trading it. Instead of trading for 5 minutes, we're trading over cycles, right? A 4x on my portfolio on the next cycle will do wonders for me and my wife and the house and the car that I want. Did you guys see the new Genesis Magma? That shit's badass. Anyway, I digress. But yeah,
So no more.
it's still trading. What's that?
You need to do more Trump coin trades then, Piper, to kind of
No kidding.
fund the
Yeah, if you
lifestyle.
guys don't know, I paid off my 2025 Genesis GV80, which is like an $85,000 car, it's Prestige Edition. I paid that entire thing off with
Hello?
Trump coin. What's up, LBC?
LBC got through.
Hello?
Hello, LBC.
And I still can't hear Piper.
I don't know
Oh, you
what's wrong.
can't?
No, I can hear everybody else but Piper this entire time.
Trippy.
Just check your settings and or click over, right-click on the
Right
party
click on my
screen.
camera and see if you muted me. You probably
Yeah, I've
muted
done
me
all
because
that. I've turned up his
you got
volume.
tired of
I've done
listening to me or
everything that I
something.
possibly know I can do. And
He tried all
I
that.
can
he
hear
said.
everybody else.
Let me drop out and come back in. Hold
It's
on.
so weird.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I totally lost Discord. You guys are the only people that get to watch me now on YouTube. Let me restart Discord and see what happened there. But yeah, so trading, guys, if you guys are listening on YouTube, trading is, it can be leveraged or on a 5 minute basis, or it can be spot bag trading over, a whole season, a whole month, whatever. It's still trading. Bringing the Discord up. Can you hear me now?
One from 11,200
Can you
down
hear me
to
now?
$800 drop, so less than 1%, 0.6, 0.7%.
Leonard B just
But yeah,
said he can't hear me still.
just waiting for Bob to pop back in.
All right, guys.
Poppy,
I
yeah?
think that's about all the time we got today, anyways. I just wanted to, talk about some of the stuff, guys, and what we're seeing on the overall setups for the DCA. I don't know. I think that a lot of the liquidity has not been able to hit the markets. I think inflation's eating up a lot of people's extra cash. It muted Piper. No, I'm still here. JR, can you guys hear me? I guess not. You guys can hear me on YouTube, but guys, that's all we got time for today. And we're out of here. Alexander G can't hear me. Okay. All right, guys. I'll head out. AWS is playing hell.
I'm in a long.
It's not really got all the all-time high, all-time low. Quickly get view up. Yeah, it's below the resistance. Are we looking at 4-hour money? It's not really. It's daily. Yeah, 4-hour. So basically, yeah, it's above the kind of anchored view out from the bottoms. Probably done a check. Off the scan work, bounced off the local golden pocket. Let's actually turn the levels off. EMAs aren't going to do anything, I don't think, because it's not been around that much. Still below all the key EMAs. It's recovered all the vectors.
It had a nice uptrend, but it just lost it today too.
Yeah. Bounced off. So just looking at the local profile, if you want to put a local profile as well, volume profile. Aster, it's kind of bounced off the. It's ranging nicely now. So if we actually kind of have to flip up to higher time frame, obviously had its smart pump came down, had its first pump came down. Could be a profile here, and then it's now between profiles. There's actually one up here as well, small one just above. Just grab these on the 4 hour, then this will give me. You see, there's 3 different profiles.
Yeah.
This points to the upper, so it's done 3 levels down at least on the 4 hour. So it looks as if it could be close to bottom. For the most part, it's bounced off the value area low with the scam wick earlier. Money flow on the 4 hour. Oh, why is this? Indicators on. Yeah, money flows. It's rounded over. 1 hour. Looks like it may make another low. And just by what I'm seeing, because kind of money flow is not really coming up on the time frames. I'd look to kind of. It was probably good for a scalp if you got in kind of high 120s, low 130s. It was good for a scalp from there. Provided it holds this anchored VWAP, you should be good, but kind of if you actually want to add to it or kind of risk adding to it, you're probably waiting for it to come back down to like the 137 to 142, give or take. And that's just literally just playing this range and hoping that the value area low holds. At this point, just from what I'm seeing, the money flow is quite bearish, even lower time frames. So it's just Binance scam at this point. At your next resistance above you, you probably find like one. Oh, is it 115? What am I? Yeah. Your next resistance above you is like 118 ish, and then there's lots of this thing is being shorted. Open interest up, but also your so this will be shorts are closing. The spot's pushing this again, give or take, which is good. But for the most part, kind of it's kind of 2 key supports now is 111.5 or kind of the local golden pocket zone, kind of around 113, 114 is probably your 2 next levels just to watch. But from what I'm seeing, also as well looking on market stuff, it's looking a bit bearish for now. Although this push up has mainly looked like it's been spot pushing it back up, or it's shorts closing out basically. So
Yeah, I've been adding every time it goes down. I add some, and then my entry's like
Hey guys,
1.14.
I can't
It
get
was
back
better
onto the
earlier, but
that's
Discord.
good. That's
You
basic.
can't be over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream.
Just with the money flow and stuff at the moment,
Appreciate you guys
the risk
watching.
is just
I'll
that
get this figured out. This is the
it
second
looks
run
to
of
me
it.
as if it
It
may
was
roll
better than
over a little
last
bit.
week,
So
but
just
we still got some
bear in
issues. We'll
mind.
figure it all out.
If you're in profit, take some profit. I would say nothing wrong with that. And then it suggestive kind of what I look at, kind of market stuff would be